Hey, I'm PJ, health, fitness, and brain science researcher. I got some questions for you. Are you living life or merely surviving? Living is doing what you want, with liberty and choice, to enjoy the one crack at the life you get here on this earth. Surviving is fear-based, willfully giving up your liberties and choice for some perceived level of theoretical safety. If surviving in fear is keeping you from living your life, you might learn some things in this video that can help you. You see, fear traps you in your primitive brain. For simplification purposes, we'll call this part of your brain the amygdala. This is where decisions and actions are emotional based. The front part of your brain, the PFC, prefrontal cortex, is the part of your brain you use to make rational decisions and use logic. The amygdala and the PFC can't actually be used at the same time. You can switch back and forth pretty rapidly, and some people are better at that than others, but the amygdala is much easier to switch into and much harder to switch out of to get into the PFC. When you're in your PFC, it's easier to get dragged into your amygdala. And when you're in your amygdala, it's a lot harder to get out and back into the PFC. When you're in your amygdala, you're noticing threats. It's a survival mechanism. You're also generally more pessimistic when you're trapped in your amygdala. When you're in your PFC, you're excited about possibilities and see lots of opportunities. We just had a big snowstorm here in Seattle. Big for us is 10 inches. We don't often get snow, but I could tell the people who were trapped in their amygdala because they saw it as a bad thing and they were fearful and they started thinking about all the limitations that might happen. Oh, I can't get groceries, or oh, I can't get out. I'll get stuck if I do go out. And they started thinking about all the bad things. And then all the people who are in their PFCs saw it as an opportunity and looked forward to the fun they could have and the wonderful activity of being out there and playing in it. The fear-based people trapped in their amygdala are also experiencing a lot more stress. Stress is basically just perceived threat, and we're wired to notice that for survival because we want to avoid threats. Stress and fear is fattening because this causes us to release more cortisol, a hormone in our body that makes it harder to burn fat, makes us want to seek comfort, which can come in the form of just relaxing and getting cozy and getting into our comfort cocoon and eating comfort food to medicate our brains out of the state, and suppressed metabolism and adrenal fatigue and all sorts of things, activating our fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. And that mechanism is also a survival mechanism. It's designed to get us away from danger for the very short term, like being chased by a tiger, which is supposed to last about 30 seconds. And then after that 30 seconds is over, we have either been caught and are eaten, or we've gotten away. Either way, the reflex has been turned off, and that's how it's designed to work. But when we keep it on all day because of work stress or watching mainstream media, it breaks us down because it's not meant to be on all day. When you're in your PFC, you see the benefits of being active, doing fun stuff, being with friends and family, enjoying company of other humans, and it remembers how good that feels, and it sees the benefit of all that stuff for your future self. But when you're trapped in your amygdala, on the other hand, you're trapped in the moment. You're only thinking about that present moment. It's very uncomfortable, and you'll do almost anything to alleviate that discomfort and fear. So you tend to just act on reflex and obey authorities and experts without any question because you don't have to do any work, which you don't want to do when you're trapped in your amygdala because your body is trying to be efficient. And then you end up doing things that don't make any sense. Then when people challenge you on what you're doing, or you see others not doing what you're doing, you feel renewed fear, so you commit deeper to your actions to alleviate that fear again and get further and deeper trapped in that amygdala. Since it's really hard to go back and forth between the amygdala and the PFC, when you're trapped in your amygdala, your PFC is offline, so logic and rational thought are also offline. Researching things to find your own truth is also out of the question because that's too much work, and your amygdala doesn't want to do that. Plus, those truths that you discover may violate your established biases, which your amygdala is already committed to, which produces more fear, so the cycle remains and deepens. So here's what to do. This may sound corny or cliche, but love is the opposite of fear. So start by thinking of someone you love. It can be a person or even a pet. Tell them how and why you love them. Tell them why you are grateful for them. Sharing this with a person with a phone call, text, email, or a written note blesses them and you and will get you out of your amygdala and back in your PFC. Here's another important thing to do. Cut off the source of your fear. Is it mainstream media? Is it social media? Is it worrisome friends or family? Your own confirmation bias will drag you to those sources and to the people you agree with. So watch out for that. But love and gratitude can break you out of that and help escape your amygdala. Now I want to give you my favorite verse. The Apostle Paul gives us a list of things to think about in Philippians 4:8. He tells us to think about things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy. If you really think about that list and then compare your sources to that list, you'll find that mainstream media doesn't do very well. And then run that list by social media and people you hang out with. You can also just enjoy your own quiet time and think about those words yourself as a form of meditation. And when you say those words or whisper those words or just think those words in your mind, your subconscious brain will kick out things that relate to those words, and it'll be a wonderful experience. I got rid of my TV in 2008, and I haven't missed it a bit. I'm also less confused because TV is confusing on purpose because you're more likely to be fearful when you're confused. And fear and confusion equals purchasing things from their advertisers. They know this about you. Another way to get out of your amygdala and turn off fight, flight, or freeze is to exercise. Any kind of exercise helps get you out of your amygdala, breaks that pattern of fear, and puts you in your prefrontal cortex. Consider a fast, taking a fast from your amygdala creating sources. Maybe you'll start out just part of a day with no mainstream media, no social media, and no stressful friends and family. Then maybe you can work up to a whole day. Remember, you didn't even have social media 15 years ago, and you were okay. In fact, you were probably even happier. You didn't have 2,000 fake friends all promoting their fake lives in this big contest to see who could have the best fake life. Good Lord. Just getting rid of that, even for a day, can put you into reality where you can actually enjoy yourself, escape from your amygdala, and experience the wonderfulness of the PFC. Now here's my favorite hack. Surrender. Sounds wimpy, right? Because I surrender everything to God and it takes it off my plate. And it's a wonderful feeling. Everything comes from Him anyway, so I just give it back to Him. Then I ask for wisdom, because that comes from Him too. Then I ask for direction, meaning what should I do about it? Then I work my butt off with lots of action. Then I enter the same loop every day to stay on track while learning from my mistakes and failures, which I always accept as my fault, which gives me a great sense of control instead of pointing to everything else and everyone else as the cause, giving them power and creating a victim mentality, which is zero control and therefore lots of stress. So I hope this video helps you. And if you liked it, click the like button. And if you want more, subscribe button. Hope to see you soon.
And that's all I have to say about that.